Alright, so in this video, I'm going to rank the horizontal recent digital artwork that I've made and give you guys S tier, which was the most difficult for me to illustrate, and D tier, which is the most easiest. So stay tuned because we're going to dive into this right now. All right. Let's dive right into this. So, Steve Fox from Tekken. This was actually one of the first horizontal illustrations, digital art that I made on Just Make Art before I deleted my previous channel. Actually, after I deleted my previous channel. It's been a while since I've designed horizontal because I wanted to take advantage of the whole TikTok vertical aspect ratio. Then I decided, you know what, let's get back to long format videos and make these illustrations horizontal. So I say so a lot. I need to stop doing that. Anyway, a lot of this was basically based upon these two categories, right? Pulling random topics from these two bags. The first bag here are pretty much characters, you know, whether they're non-fictional characters or fictional characters, they all inside this bag. And then the small bag, the second bag, is basically the themes that is, you know, curated based upon the characters I'm going to design. So the themes like 300 and things of that nature. So combining the character with the theme prompted. And that's how you create all these, that's how I create all these recent illustrations. So I wanted to show that real quick. And this came up as Steve from Tekken 8 with the mixture of music. So I remember making this, and this was fun to make. This didn't take too long, as I can recall. So just looking at it is just bringing back memories. Think of it like a family album when you look at the old, how you looked in the past. You're like, yeah, I remember that time when you look at the photos. So that's how I am when it comes out to making these illustrations. I'll start to remember when I was making them. So this here wasn't that difficult, honestly, for me to make. When I made this, I'm gonna put this Steve Fox with music theme on. I'll put it to C tier. It wasn't that hard making this drawing. All right, moving on. Yu Yu Hakusho. Drawing Yusuke, and I forgot the names of his antagonists, but I put them in this illustration. Making this one was difficult, not extremely difficult, was mainly because I haven't drew like in anime style in such a long time. So that was hard. I just kept looking at the references over and over, and understandably so, I wasn't trying to make a one-on-one copy of the anime style because I can't. So to make my life easier, I just want to do the best I can as far as my interpretation. So that being said, this digital artwork of Yu Yu Hakusho, I will put it on, I might put it on B tier because it was difficult, but it wasn't to the point where like it took me a long time to make it. So I'll put this on B tier. All right, now moving on. And if you're liking this so far, don't forget to hit that like button. That really helps out with this channel so I can get hoisted into the YouTube's algorithm. All right. Next, we got Sonic in Roman style. Let me actually move this to front so that way it ain't blocking you guys' view. There we go. Even better. Perfect. So this one was definitely difficult, mainly because I'm not used to drawing. I even said this, all this stuff I recorded, these are all recorded speed illustrations that I have as individual videos. So if you haven't seen them, go check them out. This is just a brief in terms of difficulty, and also if I had fun making this drawing from S to D tier. All right. So this here took me a while just because Sonic himself, I'm not used to drawing this style. Eggman wasn't as hard because he's more humanoid compared to Sonic, right? Being a cartoon hedgehog. And then the integration of the Roman theme wasn't as difficult. It was mainly the most time consuming was to capture the likeness of Sonic. So that being said, I'm gonna put this on A tier. It wasn't S tier. It wasn't like excruciating, like I was making this, like it took me days to make this drawing out. It didn't take days, but definitely is higher than B tier. All right, moving on. We got Metal Gear Solid. So this is the most recent digital artwork that I made, which is Metal Gear Solid and Mad Max. Now this one was not really difficult. Number one, because my Achilles heel is drawing hands, so I definitely cropped those hands, so that made it easier. Also, I'm used to drawing like rigid, muscular men or monsters and stuff like that, so that was up my alley. Let's put it that way. This right here wasn't too much of a challenge. The only thing that was a bit tedious was to put all of the ridges here, because I'm utilizing the pen tool. All the little details of like the lights right there. Also the guns too, and then the razor, which I added like the blade. So just little extra like accessories elements made it a little bit tedious. But other than that, it wasn't really a stressful illustration to make at all. So I'm gonna put this on C tier. It wasn't extremely easy, but at the same time it wasn't difficult. So behind Steve with music. All right, now we got this one here, which is Master Chief and Samurai theme. Just make it bigger for you guys to see it in full view. I even make it even bigger than that so you guys can fully see it. There we go. So this one was the transitional point in my channel where I'm like, you know what? Let me start doing ranking videos and start doing reaction videos, because this is the time when I started to get a little bit, well, actually a little bit. This is the time when I started to get burnt out. Where I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it started to get to me. And I wasn't too happy when I was making this drawing, to be honest with you. And there was a lot of elements. I mean, it was a lot of details dealing with Master Chief, as you guys can see. And also, I spent a long time. Actually, this is one of the longest sketches that I've made of drawing these illustrations, just to make sure I got Master Chief right. And also Cortana, you know, just drawing it from that far view. So, that being said, this one was definitely one of the most difficult. It's because of the elements and the composition. I will have to give this Halo and Master Chief, Halo, and Samurai Style S tier. This is definitely an S tier. Make this bigger. And there we go. All right. Next, Nezuko and Demon Slayer. This one, I was actually really proud of the way this came out, just because this is supposed to be anime, and Yu Yu Hakusho, I made that before I made this one. So this was like my second attempt of trying to draw in anime style. And given the fact that it's a side view, I think I did a pretty good job. I was more pleased with the way this came out compared to Yu Yu Hakusho. And since there's not too much elements happening, even though it seems like there's a lot of elements, but there's a lot of redundancy elements, so not a lot of variety to it when I made this, so it made it a whole lot easier to make this illustration. And I focused a lot on Nezuko's face just to capture the essence. You know, I watched Demon Slayer. It's a really good show. I highly recommend it. And yeah, kept it really simple, simplistic. Didn't take too long to make this illustration, and I wanted to give it that monochromatic feel, like make it really sad, but making everything more with the blue tones as a color grading. That being said, I will put this. I want to say it was extremely easy, but put this here. Yeah, it was easier than the most recent digital art of Metal Gear Solid and Mad Max theme. didn't take as long. All right, moving on. We got Cammy in Street Fighter 6 style mixed with 300. This is Sparta! So this one here took me some time because I wanted to make sure I had the anatomy right. No, just in as perfect anatomy, but I was struggling a bit just to make sure I got the composition right, the anatomy right, and also the likeness of Cammy. Especially with the pen tool, it took some time just getting the hair and having the arrangements, moving forward, moving back, fixing the arrangements of that. The color grading too took some time as well because I was trying to replicate the best I can with the 300 color grading like in the movies. The cape and all that, it was pretty straightforward, and I add the little touch of the UK United Kingdom flag on her shield. So this took some time as far as the sketch, and the pen tool didn't take too long. But given the fact that the sketch took me some time before moving forward, I'll have to put Cammy in 300 style. I put it in A tier. It wasn't as hard as Sonic, but at the same time it was more difficult than Yu Yu Hakusho. Alright, last but not least, at the time of this recording, got Daredevil. Let me do its justice by making it bigger. There we go. So Daredevil did not take that long as far as the sketch, because I'm used to drawing like muscular guys and all that type of stuff. But the integration, because I looked at references of course, the Apple Vision Pro, so I looked at that to use as a visor, and I mixed it with looking at Cyberpunk 2077, as well as different references of like humanoid robots. And this is what came up, right? Drawing a futuristic Daredevil, pretty much Daredevil in Cyberpunk 2077, and this is how I came up with that. Hence the reason why I gave him the yellow backlight, just to represent like the futuristic theme that he is in. So he's in the world of Cyberpunk 2077. And yeah, this one did not take as long. But at the same time, it was a little bit tedious as far as like the different like cables on his head, tracing over after the sketch using a pen tool and things of that nature. But at the same time, it wasn't, it was tedious at certain points, but overall it wasn't that difficult to make. So I'm going to put that right here, right behind Yu Yu Hakusho. So yeah, so none of them hit D-list. Who knows, maybe in the future when I'll continue making these illustrations, there will be one that will hit D-list. But for now, none of them was super easy. Some of them was okay, but only one, which was the Halo Master Chief, that was the most difficult. So now is up to you guys, right? So comment down below what illustration you guys like the most, from S tier being the best in your opinion to D tier being the worst. So share that down below, and stay tuned. If you want to showcase your artwork, I could critique it, just email me. The link will be in the description below. And if you want to sketch some of the stuff that I already made, so for example, let me just take this out, something like this, which these are the sketches. Just let me know, and I want to see what you guys can do through like your digital rendition of these, right? So that's it for the video, guys. Stay tuned for the next one, and I'll see you guys, I guess, in the next one. Bye-bye.